What is life without love? What's life without dreams? What's life without goals? Everything ain't what it seems.
This day represents freedom, it represents hope, it represents our future.
We're not free until we're all free.
And we also have to fully be committed to change.
Your silence is a knee on our neck. Your neutrality is taking the side of the oppressor.
What is life without love? What's life without dreams? What's life without goals? Everything ain't what it seems.
It is the change that we needed to see. Juneteenth now officially the 11th national holiday, and here on First Take we'll be honoring the day throughout the entire show. All right, yesterday at his final news conference before training camp, Packer coach Matt LaFleur said the team will have one plan on offense when training camp opens next month, even if Aaron Rodgers is not there, leaving second-year player Jordan Love as quarterback one. So is Love the team's new guy? Well, LaFleur can answer that one.
Do you need to have two separate plans for camp? One if Aaron's here, one if he's not?
No, we'll have one plan. We've kind of pretty much laid that out. Just going to fine tune some things over the next few weeks, and just in terms of the logistics of our schedule and whatnot. But we've got what we feel is a pretty good blueprint. It's the same message it's been all the time. You're only one play away, so you always have to prepare like you're the starter.
Okay, and now let's welcome an NFL reporter and my amazing, beautiful, intelligent co-host on First Take, Her Take, Kimberly A. Martin. How'd that sound?
Hi, Charlie. Hello, guys.
Good to see you, darling. Okay, we are very happy to have you here. We're going to start with Keyshawn, though, because we got an important question for you.
Yeah,
Should the Packers get rid of Rodgers right now, Key?
Absolutely. They should have got rid of him yesterday. And not because he's a bad guy. It's because it's going to be a distraction throughout the entire season. You know, and I know. He has a problem with them. They have a problem with him. This whole message of, they can figure it out. Don't worry about it. No, they cannot figure it out. Too many shots have been fired back and forth between the two. 1 week Mark Murphy goes. The next week Aaron Rodgers goes. 1 week Mark Murphy goes. Aaron Rodgers sends out little cryptic tweets or whatever the case may be, trolling everybody. It is not a great relationship. He out from the outset. Aaron Rodgers mentioned it. He sat down with Kenny Mayne and mentioned it. He talks about it all the time. And it's clear that they mentally have probably moved on from Aaron Rodgers, but yet and still they want to be petty and hold on to him and try to see if he folds, which I don't believe he will. So the best thing to do is line up with a Super Bowl ready team minus Aaron Rodgers and hope and pray that Jordan Love can give you enough to get back to the NFC Championship game, because I believe he can with the team around him if he does all the right things. And now let Aaron Rodgers go to the Miami Dolphins or the Denver Broncos via trade, give him his wish so he can go help them try to win a championship. Why hold him back? You might as well just let it go, because he does not want to be there. Instead of trying to turn the fan base on him and everybody on him, just give him his wish.
Such a typical player, always taking the player side of things instead of the business side of things. What's good for business is to hold on to this guy, because he is your greatest asset on the field and off the field.
What good is the asset if you can't use it?
I'll explain it, because if things don't go well, even more pressure gets put on Aaron Rodgers. Even more. You think he's a guy that no matter where he is, whether it's on a beach in Hawaii or whether it's somewhere in Colorado on a ski lift, he's going to hear everything about what the Packers are doing while he's sitting around collecting money to do nothing. You don't think he's going to pay attention to what people are saying and thinking about him and his legacy and what he leaves there in Green Bay? He talked about it, right? The culture, it's about the people. He sounded like a politician.
He's not coming
listening.
in.
Rabbit ears, and you know it.
Alan, he's not
I'm going to
coming
make
in.
you sit and simmer in it. And if we are winning, then you'll hear about how we're better without you. And then I can move you. But I can move you when it matters. And you know when it matters most in the NFL? Not before training camp. When I already know what the draft pick's going to be, or several of them, that I'm going to get for you. Why would I do it now? Why would I do you a
Because
favor?
you're not
I'm not
gonna
here
get
to
it
help
later.
you. You're here to help me. That's why I
You're
pay
not
you.
getting it later, though.
So, well, I am going to get it later,
No,
one
no
way or
way.
another. But I'm not doing it now because I'm not doing you any favors because you did none.
Maximize the value now. Why wait and hold on it and be
How
petty?
can you maximize value
Maximize it.
when you look like you're in a desperate situation right now and teams are going to sit back and offer you something that is nowhere near the worth of an MVP? An MVP has never been traded like this. You never have had this. There's no precedent. There's no price on this. You don't have a standard. So how could you possibly get the best value for him now?
All teams want to go into training camp with their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that value in the middle of the season. The Denver Broncos
Who said
aren't
middle of the
giving you.
season?
The Denver Broncos
wait until
aren't
after.
giving you that value in the middle of the season.
I'd rather test your metal.
And if you wait a year later, he's a year older.
That's okay. He's
hadn't
also got
played,
no tread on the tire.
It just doesn't.
He's
you
rested.
can't.
Maybe he's done some TB12. Surfed a little bit. He's got a nice tan. He's going to feel
Do it
good.
now.
He'll
Do it
be
now.
just
Hosted
fine.
some Jeopardy.
Whatever it is, hosting Jeopardy, he'll be a little bit smarter. The bottom line is that if you're not playing for me,
reporters,
you're not playing for anybody. Not until I figure out my situation.
Hey,
Kmart.
Key, watch your mouth. Listen, here's the bottom line. If the Packers were to trade Aaron Rodgers now, that tells me they don't know what they're doing. They have no plan. They had no plan. That's why we're here, because they clearly believed in Jordan Love so much that they were willing to move up. Not get the okay from Aaron, at least include him in that conversation. They believed in Jordan Love. The Packers are the only team that's seen Jordan Love. No one knows what Jordan Love is. So I've seen people say, like, they should just trade Jordan Love, get him out of here, say, Aaron, look what we did. If they were to trade Jordan Love, Aaron would probably sit there and be like, see, that's the dumbest thing you guys could do, because you would create all this friction for no reason. The Packers have to have conviction. And Alan mentioned, you don't want to set a precedent. Here's the thing. The Packers have really fumbled the bag. Like, they have botched this so badly. But to trade him now, when you dug your feet in the sand and said, oh, we're not going to trade him before the draft. Oh, no, we're not answering any calls. No, don't bother. Guys, don't bother calling us. We're not going to let him go. Okay, but they would say no then, and now want to trade him? If they did that, that to me would be the dumbest thing ever. Because before the draft,
you're holding out hope.
Here's the thing. You got the head.
You got the highs. Oh, Lord have mercy. She gave me Auntie Kim. I'm sorry, Auntie Kim. I'm sorry, Auntie Kim.
When people from New York City start doing like this, it's time to settle down. But when you've gone through free agency, we've gone through the draft. We are literally about to start this season. Make him sit there. If he doesn't want to play for you, make him sit there. And then next offseason, you do something. Like, you got to get something. And the Packers had a chance to ask for a king's ransom, and they could have gotten it. Now all these teams still would want Aaron, but they've invested so much in draft picks. Teams that needed a QB drafted guys, and now the Packers would turn around and say, "Oh, hey, so we're just gonna trade Aaron after all of this." I'd be upset for Aaron. I'd be upset.
You move him now because you're going to maximize the value. If you would holding out hope, flying to go see him in California, because you're flying in the offseason to go beg and plead with him, you were not going to put him on a trading back before the draft because you were hoping and praying that he would come in. They're at the point now where they realize he ain't coming back. So if you hold on to him to the end of the season, he gets a year older. The Denver Broncos signed Teddy Bridgewater or traded for Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. They didn't draft a quarterback. They need him in the most desperate way.
So they'll have to wait.
Drew Lock, they'll give you back Drew Lock, maybe some other stuff. Let him go to Denver. He wants to be out west. Let him go to Denver.
You made the argument for me. You just did. The Denver Broncos, boy, they're desperate for him. Okay, you'll stay desperate because I can't. And Kimberly, I'm going to say it again. You repeated it, and it's something that has to hold true. And if I'm Roger Goodell and I'm all these owners, I'm thinking the same thing because that's a team that doesn't have a owner. So you're a little worried about how that business is going to be handled. What is the value of a contract if a player can now say, I don't want to play here anymore, and I'm just going to stay home until you trade me? What's the value of the contract anymore? And what precedent does that set if you give him what he wants right away? I'll make you sit. I'll make you wait.
All the time for star players. That's nothing new.
All the time?
All the time for stars.
For an entire season.
Get what they want in professional sports.
Right. How'd it work out for Le'Veon Bell? It did not
Again,
work out well.
stars get what they want.
At the time,
Stars
on that one.
get what they want in the end. Le'Veon Bell
Well, he'll get it in
got
the end,
what
but
he
it will
wanted
be-
in New York,
it'll
which
be
was
a-
his money.
It
And
doesn't make
that was
sense
his
for me
decision.
from a business perspective to trade him now. No sense.
It
because
makes all
I
the
will
sense
give
in the
him
world.
the entire season to
It doesn't.
reconsider.
Keith,
And
Yes,
if he
it
doesn't,
makes
then
all
I
it
trade him.
don't make
sense in the
sense. It don't
world
make sense
because you
now.
can get
No.
more for him now.
What are you
than
getting
a year
for him
later.
now? Everything's gone. I don't know what the picks are going to be. I'll trade him to a team that then goes to a championship game and the draft pick is useless.
Well, that's what any team that he goes to, like the Denver Broncos.
I'd rather have
Miami,
the pick
they're gonna
before
be
I trade. Well,
championship.
give me the pick, then you get
Listen,
it.
I completely hear Key on star players should get. I'm all for Aaron Rodgers trying to maximize whatever leverage he has, knowing that whether I play or I don't play, I'm Aaron Rodgers.